Hello, my name is Hyunwoo Jo, and I'm a student majoring in global affairs at George Mason University, Korea. Our campus here is located in Songdo, South Korea, an international city positioning itself as the gateway to Northeast Asia. Today, we live in a more complex security landscape than ever before, thanks to the rapid growth of information technology. However, as cyber incidents and cyber attacks have become more frequent and sophisticated, no form of meaningful cyber cooperation has come to place due to diverging national interests. This is where Northeast Asia, or specifically Songdo, come into play. The region is well known for its geopolitical rivalry and long resistance to security cooperation. However, a more novel approach, that is multilateralism, may provide actors with a more flexible, smart, and targeted approach that Korea can make important use of. Here, Songdo can leverage itself as a global hub for cyber cooperation, facilitating information sharing and trust building within the region. As a scholar myself, I envision Songdo becoming this leader for cutting-edge research and development, where scholars and students like us can benefit and gain valuable know-how, expertise, and networking. It's events like this year's Incheon Peace and Security Forum that make ideas like these a reality. Today, we can build our own peace for a better tomorrow.
Good afternoon. My name is Jihyun Lee. I'm an undergraduate scholar in conflict analysis and resolution at George Mason University, Korea. I'd like to begin by thanking the organizers of Incheon Peace and Security Forum for giving me this precious opportunity to share my work. Do you think two students sitting in the same school grow up to be strangers to each other? Unfortunately, that's exactly what I witnessed during my fieldwork in Bosnia. Even decades after the war, Bosnian students are still divided under what's called the two schools under one roof system. In the same building, students learn different histories, different languages, and different versions of who the enemy is. This shows us that physical peace doesn't mean emotional integration. My paper argues that for Korea, especially if unification happens, peace education must be a foundation of reconciliation. We must learn from Bosnia's mistakes and ensure that education becomes a bridge, not a battleground. So, I propose several strategies. First, we need a curricula to promote empathy, critical inquiry, and shared civic identity. Second, we must avoid politicized education and give space for students to dialogue honestly. And third, we should activate local platforms to pilot peace education before unification. In this case, I would like to say Incheon City and George Mason University, Korea's Conflict Analysis and Resolution program could be a great example. Peace isn't just signed by leaders, it's practiced in classrooms. If Korea wants true lasting unification, we must start now by teaching our next generation not just to live side by side, but to live together.
Hi everyone, I'm Xenia, an undergraduate student in higher university studying political science, international relations, and climate change response. First, I'd like to thank Incheon City, Incheon Research Institute, and Incheon International Peace and Security Forum organizers for this incredible opportunity. My paper explores the 2019 Panmunjom Summit's impact on intergovernmental relations and East Asian security, and how Incheon can drive peace building. The summit sparked for denuclearization and reconciliation, but North Korea's nuclear program poses challenges. I recommend Incheon uses its strategic location in global networks, like Green Climate Fund, to foster dialogue and employ Sonda's Bartek for resilable projects inspired by Belfast shared places. This matters to me because Incheon can turn its innovator hubs into peace-building leaders, enhancing regional security. I hope to share these ideas, learn from peers, and grow as a scholar shaping a peaceful East Asia. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Song Jin Hong, an undergraduate student in political science at Incheon University. I sincerely thank Incheon City, the Incheon Research Institute, and the forum organizer for this opportunity. My paper is titled Difference in Conception of Threat to the Republic of Korea, United States alliance, Incheon as a hub for security governance. Using a constructivist approach, I argue that threats are shaped by identity and discourse. South Korea sees North Korea as the most urgent danger, while the United States increasingly view China as a systemic rival. These divergences created a perception gap that complicated alliance coordination. I propose that Incheon with the legacy of the 1950 landing and its global connectivity today can use city diplomacy to bridge these differences and strengthen alliance resilience. Through this forum, I hope to share ideas on urban level security governance and grow as a young scholar linking research with peace initiative. Thank you.
First, we thank Incheon City, the Incheon Research Institute, and the Incheon International Peace and Security Forum organizers for these opportunities.
Hey Mo, what are you doing?
Well, I'm watching video and it makes me think a lot about the memes these days.
Oh really? What is this about?
Well, you wanna know? Here.
It is a really honor to join this forum and share ideas together. My name is Shin Mo and currently majoring in conflict analysis and resolution. Today, I want to talk about the challenges and of course opportunities we face in building peace. In today's world, peace is not just only about stopping wars. It's protecting trust and dialogue and understanding in our digital society. Across South Korea and beyond, political memes spread fast. They make us laugh, but they also divide, fueling hate, cynicism, and mistrust. Incheon, as a global port city, stands at the crossroad of cultures and ideas. With its strong digital networks and international voice, Incheon can lead in transforming online culture into a force for peace. By investing in digital literacy, civic dialogue, and peace education, we can help the next generation see beyond mockery and hate, which is toward empathy, resilience, and cooperation. Incheon is more than a city. It's a platform for global peace in a digital age. Together, let's turn laughter into understanding and memes into tools of unity.
Hi, my name is Sunju Choi and I'm studying at Incheon National University, majoring in political science and diplomacy with a double major in law. Drawing on the strengths of these fields, I focus my research on security issues in my paper titled The Impact of US-China Strategic Competition on Peace in the Korean Peninsula and Our Case Security Policy Choices. It argues that South Korea must appropriately veer away from vertical dependence on the United States and instead develop more horizontal, interest-based partnerships. This should never be interpreted as weakening the ties between the two countries. In my paper, I recommend that South Korea should participate more actively in regional multilateral partnerships by expanding cooperation with, for example, Southeast Asia. Through this forum, I look forward to exchange ideas with other scholars and gain diverse perspectives to make my work more meaningful and relevant to both academia and policy. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Serena, or Suyong-oh, and I'm an undergraduate student in George Mason University, Korea, studying conflict analysis and resolution. So my paper is titled Youth, Soft Power, and New Diplomacy for Peace in Korea. So in this paper, I argue that while traditional diplomacy between the two Koreas has often failed, stuck in cycles of summits, symbolic gestures, and disappointments, new approaches are still emerging. These involve youth participation, cultural exchange, and soft power which can reshape identities and perceptions beyond official negotiations. So one of my findings is that cultural media and exchanges in Korea, such as K-pop, arts, and storytelling, that can reduce prejudice and foster empathy across the Korean divide. Another key point is that Incheon and Songdo, where I'm at, with their global institutions and the Incheon Global Campus, can serve as cultural gateways for safe, young-led exchanges and peace education. Finally, I argue that sustainable peace requires generational commitment, not just short-term agreements, but long-term infrastructures of empathy and shared imagination. This topic is really crucial to me because I believe peace in Korea is not about treaties, but also about people, especially how young generations create new narratives of connection and hope. It is also meaningful for Incheon since the city has the institutions, networks, and international presence to become a hub for this new diplomacy. Through participating in this forum, I hope to grow as a scholar, share new ideas, and contribute to developing pathways for peace beyond the negotiations or politics. Finally, I would like to thank Incheon City, the Incheon Research Institute, and the Incheon International Peace and Security Forum organizers for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much for the opportunity again, and thank you so much again for listening to my introduction.
Before I start my video, I appreciate the Incheon City, the Incheon Research Institution, and the organizer of the Incheon International Peace and Security Forum have given me this opportunity. This is Yu Chan Kong, and I am sophomore at George Mason University. I'm majoring in conflict analysis and resolution. My paper is called Between Giants: Strategic Autonomy for East Asia's Middle Powers in the United States-China Rivalry. It looks at how South Korea can stay independent while the United States and China compete. I suggest 3 main points. First, keep the alliance with the United States strong but more balanced. Second, protect Korea from China's economic and political pressure. Third, build wider partnership in technology, trade, and diplomacy. This is important to me because I believe in South Korea should act with leadership, not just react to bigger powers. Incheon as a global city with strong connections can be placed more peace building and technology cooperation, helping Korea's role become real. By participating in this forum, I hope share new ideas as a young scholar and also learn from global peers and experts. I believe this exchange will strengthen my research and prepare to contribute to peace and security in Korea and beyond. Thank you, and I look forward to meeting you at the Incheon Peace and Security Forum.
Thank you to Incheon City, the Incheon Research Institute, and the Incheon International Peace and Security Forum organizers for this opportunity. Hello, my name is Yoonbin Cho, a student at George Mason University, Korea, majoring in conflict analysis and resolution. My thesis is simple. East Asia faces two linked displacement pressures, climate-driven and conflict-induced, and Incheon can model an integrated, humane response. Why Incheon? Much of our city, including Songdo, sits on reclaimed tidal flats, so sea level rise and storms are not abstract. But Incheon also has smart city systems and global campuses, which means we can lead. My paper recommends 3 steps. First, readiness. We need to build region-wide early warning and shared evacuation protocols, using data and AI to forecast and coordinate. Second are rights. We need to create a regional legal frameworks that recognizes environmental displacement and guarantees humane reception, services, and dignity. Third are resources. We need to mobilize ESG-driven public-private partnership to fund resilient housing, jobs, and community recovery with Incheon piloting scalable models. Why this matters to me and to Incheon are: I study on the Incheon Global Campus. The city is my home and classroom. Protecting our coastal community while offering humane pathways for displaced neighbors is both personal and practical peace building. What I hope to gain from this forum are to grow as a writing scholar, to test policy ideas with practitioners, and to help turn research into action for peace and security. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Hyung Hwang, and I'm currently an undergraduate student at George Mason University, Korea, with a major in global affairs. First, I would like to thank Incheon City, the Incheon Research Institute, and the Incheon International Peace and Security Forum organizers for this amazing opportunity. My paper, Invisible Diaspora Among Korea Saram Third Culture Kids, asks, how do Korea Saram TCKs experience cultural and community instability both in their host societies and in Korea? And how can Korea, starting with Incheon, address these vulnerabilities as critical security concerns? Throughout my research, I found that first, Korea Saram TCKs often face double marginalization both abroad and in Korea. Also, their invisibility and policy weakens Korea's broader diaspora ties, even though they are vital for cultural and demographic resilience. Lastly, Incheon, as Korea's historic gateway, is uniquely positioned to lead inclusive diaspora policies that can turn these vulnerabilities into strength. This matters to me and to Incheon because peace and security today are not only about borders, but they are about belonging, identity, and community stability. Supporting diaspora groups like Korea Saram is a way to build a more resilient and diverse Korea. By participating in this forum, I hope to share new ideas, learn more as a young scholar, and contribute in reimagining security in ways that could highlight inclusivity, culture, and human dignity. Thank you.